So in this video, we are going to learn how to create Zoom meeting registrant on Stripe payment. Let's say you're using Zoom to conduct your online meetings, and these are paid meetings, these are paid consultation sessions, so you're using Stripe to collect the online payment. Now you want that whenever a customer is going to make a payment, whenever you are going to receive a new payment in Stripe, you want to add the same customer who made the payment as a registrant in your Zoom meeting. So let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. In this automation, as we are going to receive a new payment in our Stripe account with the same details, we are going to add the same customer as a registrant for our Zoom meeting. Now, if you want to learn how you can set up this complete automation all by yourself, for that, you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, this is a payment page which I've created using Stripe. So I'll just copy the payment page and open it in a new tab over here. Now I want that whenever I capture a new payment from the Stripe payment page, the customer who is making the payment, I want to add the same customer in a meeting in my Zoom account. So this is the payment page for my personal financing and investment consultation. So using Stripe, I'm collecting payment from the user and I automatically want to add the same person as a registrant in the meeting in Zoom. Now to do this, we have to connect our Stripe account with Zoom. And we are going to use Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration platform to do so. Now to get started with Pabbly Connect, we just have to click on this Create Workflow button. But before that, if you want to reach this Pabbly Connect dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can just create your free Pabbly Connect account in 2 minutes. After coming to this dashboard, let's start creating the workflow. Click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. Let's say I'll name it as Stripe to Zoom. Then just select the folder of the Pabbly Connect account and then click on Create. And as you click on Create here, you can see the workflow will open in front of us. Now in this workflow, you can see we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with our trigger window. Now the idea here is, first we have to connect our Stripe account with Pabbly Connect in the trigger step, so that whenever we are going to receive a new payment in our Stripe account, automatically the details of the same payment will be received inside Pabbly Connect and this automation workflow will trigger, it will start. Then after that, using this Pabbly Connect automation, we are going to basically receive the details for each and every payment received on Stripe. So using Stripe, if you are collecting payments for multiple products or multiple services, you will get those details as well inside Pabbly Connect. So what we are going to do, in this automation, we are going to set up a filter condition that if we are getting the payment for this personal finance and investment consultation for this particular service or for this particular product, only in that case the automation workflow should be continued further. And after setting up this folder, if the user is paying us for our Zoom meeting, then in that case we are going to add the same person as a registrant in our Zoom meeting as well. So let's see how it is done. Starting from a trigger window in our Choose app, search for Stripe and select it. After selecting Stripe in trigger event from the drop down, select the trigger event as checkout completed. After selecting this trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. And here we have to add this exact same webhook URL in our Stripe account. Now to add the webhook URL, we just have to follow the instructions given below over here. Copy the webhook URL from here and go to your Stripe account. After coming to the Stripe account, just go to Settings. And after coming to Settings, go to Developer section. Here under Developer section, you can see this option of Workbench. Make sure the Workbench option is on. We have to enable this Workbench option. After enabling it, from the left bottom corner, you can see this option of Developer. Just click on it and from here, we will go to Webhooks. After clicking on Webhook, the section will pop up from the bottom. Here, we just have to click on this Add Endpoint button and then we have to set up this webhook over here. Here we have to select your account. In API version, we are going to use the latest version over here and then it is asking us for the event. That for which particular event, on happening of what event on our Stripe account, we want to send the data to Pabbly Connect. Now here in event, what we have to do, in the Pabbly Connect workflow in the trigger step below this webhook URL, under help text, you can see this event over here. It is clearly mentioned that which particular event we have to select. So we have to select the event of checkout.session.completed. So here while setting up the webhook, we will just search for the exact same event and select it over here. After selecting the event, click on continue, and then here it is asking us for the endpoint URL. And here in endpoint URL, we are going to enter the exact same webhook URL which Pabbly Connect gave us. Just copy it from here and paste it over here. After pasting the webhook, click on create endpoint, and as we click on create endpoint, this webhook URL will be added in our Stripe account. Now, after adding this webhook URL, you will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow, it is showing us waiting for webhook response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to capture some response, some details of a new checkout being completed in our Stripe account. So we have successfully added a webhook URL, but now we have to capture a response in Pabbly Connect. So for that, what we are going to do, for the same product or the same payment link for which we are setting up this automation, we will come to this link and we are going to make a test payment over here. We'll enter the details like I have entered the email address. Now I'm going to enter the mobile number. The name of the person is demo user. The card number is this. So we are just entering the details of a test user, of a dummy user over here. Demo user, and this is the address. So just now what we have done, we have entered the details of a dummy user with some dummy address and dummy card details. Now let's click on pay. And as we click on play, here you can see that a new payment will be received on our Stripe account. So here you can see that just now as a dummy customer, we made a payment, we made a dummy transaction. And as the transaction will be completed, as this checkout is completed, instantly within seconds, the details of the same checkout of the same payment will be received inside Pabbly Connect. And yes, here you can see that on our Pabbly Connect workflow in this trigger step, we have received the response. And this response is received for this event of checkout session completed. We'll scroll down and in this response, we'll get all the details over here. So we have the status as complete over here. We'll scroll down further. And after that, here you can see P link. So this is the unique link. This is the unique payment link from which we have captured the response. And in the next step, we are going to set up a filter condition on the basis of this P link. We will see that in a couple of minutes. But we will scroll down further and see the response that what are the details we have received. We have received the mobile number of the customer who made the payment. We have the customer name. We have the customer email address. We have the state. We have the postal code, the complete address. We have the city and all of that. So also you can see that we have the unique customer ID and the rest of the details too. So this means the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed, where we have successfully received the details of the customer who made the payment on Stripe inside Pabbly Connect. Now after this, let's move to step 2. And in step 2, we want to set up a filter condition that only the payment which I'm receiving on a particular payment page, only those customers will be added as registrant in Zoom. And we are going to set up this filter condition on this response of data object payment link over here. Now to set up this filter, we will scroll down, come to this action step, and here in choose app, select filter. Select the action event as filter values and click on connect. After clicking on connect and select label from this drop down, we are going to select the label of the same payment link. So we will just scroll down and select this label of data object payment link. Just select it. After selecting this label, the filter type will be equals to, and here in value, we have to enter the payment link ID of the checkout page or the payment page for which we are setting up this automation. So I will go to my Stripe account and I'll go to the payment link section. Now here under payment link section, you can see all the payment links which I've created can be seen over here. But I want to set up this automation for this particular payment link. I want that the customer who are making the payment using this particular payment link, only those customers should be added as a registrant in Zoom. So I'll just open this payment link over here, this payment page. And here in the URL section, you can see this is the unique payment link. Just copy this unique payment link from this plink underscore over here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And in this way, we are setting up a filter condition that if we get this response, this particular value for the payment link option, only in that case, the automation workflow will be continued further. If we get a response of a payment from some other payment link or some other payment page of Stripe, in that case, the automation won't be continued and that user will not be added as a registrant in Zoom. Now after this, let's click on Save and Send Test Request. And as we click on Save and Send Test Request, you can see it is showing us the condition is true because we have captured the response of the same payment page of the same payment link. Now after adding the filter condition, let's add the same customer to Zoom as registrant. Click on this Add Action Step button, and here in Choose App, search for Zoom and select it. After selecting Zoom in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Add Meeting Registrant. Then just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here we have to connect our Zoom account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this Connect with Zoom button. In this pop-up window, it will automatically detect our Zoom account which we have logged in our browser. And the Zoom account will be connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, it is asking us for the meeting. So all the meetings which I have created in my Zoom account, all the meetings which are available in my Zoom account can be seen over here in this drop-down. And out of all of this, in which particular meeting we want to add the user, we have to select that. So I have this meeting named as Personal Finance and Investment. And in this meeting, I want to add the registrant who are making the payment on Stripe. So from this drop-down, we are going to select the same meeting over here, Personal Finance and Investments. After selecting the meeting in which we want to add the registrant, it is asking us for the email address, first name, last name, address, and all the details. So what we have done, we have received all of these details of the customer who made the payment from Stripe in the trigger step. So here from the trigger step responses, one by one, we are going to basically send all of these details of the user, of the customer, and map it in this Zoom action step. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field of email, and here in the drop-down, you can see a list of all the responses from previous two steps. Here from the Stripe responses, we are going to search for the response of email address of the customer. Just select it and it will be mapped. So in this way, whatever email address the customer is going to enter on the Stripe checkout page with the same email address and with the same details, we are going to add them as registrant on our Zoom meeting. After email address, it is asking us for the first name and last name. Now the response of name which we have received from Stripe is of full name. But Zoom is asking us a separate response of first name and last name. So what we are going to do, we are going to split this response of full name into two parts, two different responses of first name and last name. And we are going to use a feature, a module of Pabbly Connect for that. So before this Zoom action step, click on this Add Action Step button over here. And here in Choose App, search for Text Formatter. Using text formatter Pabbly, we are going to basically split the full name response into two parts. So here in action event from the drop-down, select split text and click on connect. After clicking on connect, it is asking us text to split. That what is the response? What is the text which we want to split in two parts? So we'll just click here. Once again, use the same process of mapping from the Stripe responses. Select the response of the full name of the customer. Now here we want to split this full name into two parts before and after the space. So we are going to use space as a separator. And to use space as a separator, we have to write space in double curly braces. And because we want the first name as well as the last name, so that's why we are going to select segment index as all and click on save and send test request. Now as we click on save and send test request, here you can see we have received the response. And in this response, we have two different responses for first name and last name. And now we are going to map this first name and last name in the Zoom action step. So let's come here, click on this response of first name, and now you can see all the responses from previous step. From text formatter responses, select and map the response of first name and follow the same process for last name as well. Then it is asking us for the address. So from Stripe, we have received the address of the customer as well. So let's map the address line 1. Then we are going to just search for the response of city and map it. Also, we have received the response of country as well. So I'll just search for country over here. The country code is India. Then if we have received the zip code, so I'll just enter the zip code as well or postal code, and here it is. Just select it and map it. The state is also received. The response of state is received over here. So let's search for the response of state and we are going to map it too. So in this way, all the details which we are receiving over here, we are going to just map or enter all of these details. Let's map the phone number. So we'll just search for the response of phone number over here. Here it is, select it and map it. The rest of the details are not received like industry, organization and all of that. And these details, these fields are also not mandatory, not required. So if you want, you can ignore this field. Or what you can do, you can just turn the mapping button on and clear the default response over here. And what you can do, you can just keep this field as blank instead of entering any random information. After mapping all the required details, we will just scroll down and click on Save and Send Test Request. And as we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see we have received a response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the user whose details we have mapped over here, Basically, the same customer who made the payment on our Stripe payment page is now added as a registrant in this Zoom meeting. So let's check it. We will go to Zoom account, we'll go to registration section. And yes, one registrant is added. Let's click on view. And yes, here you can see that demo user. This is the same person with the same address, same phone number, same email who has made the payment on our Stripe checkout page. This means the automation between Stripe and Zoom, which we have created using Pabbly Connect, this automation is working perfectly fine. Now after setting up this automation, let's test this automation workflow once. For that, we'll just go to our Stripe account, the same payment page, and we are going to make another payment over here. So let me just open the same payment link once again. Copy the link, paste it in a new tab, and now we are going to make another payment. This time, let's say the customer email is this. Then this is the dummy mobile number which we are entering. Full name is test user. Then this is the dummy card number. After that, let's enter the year of card and CVV. Test user once again. And we are going to enter a new address over here. Z1, for example, Z1 Old Street. Then after that, let's enter the city as, for example, New Delhi. Pin code is 440011. That's a random pin code. And Delhi as a state over here. So just now we are entering some dummy details. Let's click on proceed. And as we click on pay over here, a new payment will be received. So just now on our Stripe payment page, we are receiving a new payment from a dummy customer. And we will see as this checkout will be completed, this payment will be successfully received. Automatically, instantly, the same customer will be added as a registrant in Zoom. So we will just go to a Zoom account over here. We will just refresh this page once. Go to registration, and yes, now here you can see that for the same meeting of personal finance and investments, we have two registrants. And the second registrant is the same customer who made the payment on Stripe. This means the automation workflow which we have created using Pabbly Connect, this automation is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever a new checkout will be completed, whenever we are going to receive a new payment in Stripe account, automatically with the same details, that customer will be added as a registrant in our Zoom meeting. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same automation workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can just clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and start using this automation for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can just do it for absolutely free.
So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, or if you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can always write us in the comment box below or email us at support@pabbly.com. Also, you can post your queries on our forum as well. And if you want to check the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.